Welcome everyone to State of the Game for the 9th of February. PTS is closing tomorrow. A few interesting things that are happening. Critical hit chance coming back to SMGs is very, very cool, in my opinion. But I've already seen that kind of shift the meta already. We'll see Keith's thoughts on that very, very soon. Sprint and reload is something I'm going to be talking to Keith about as well. But I can confirm as well that level 34 extended mags, the crafting, that will be fixed as well come 1.6. What were your specific focuses for PTS 4, and kind of how did those changes, how did they go?
Yeah, I mean, first off, right off the bat, it was testing some of the new stuff we'd put in, like the more lethal turret fortifications, which, you know, have proven to be a little bit more effective. And then also just seeing how the straight up PvP feels with all the awesome balance work that Frederick and the guys at Massive have been doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we pretty quickly were happy with the fact that build diversity felt higher. People are using SMGs, people are using marksmans, assault, obviously still a big part of the game, but you're not always running up against the same builds.
Yeah.
And so then we really started looking at fine-tuning a few last stand mechanics, namely fortifications, making them even more impactful to help you defend, and then looking at kind of reducing the level of kind of spammy combat mechanics inside last stand specifically.
All
so
right.
those are kind of the two things we're targeting right now.
All right, so when you mean spammy combat mechanics, what specifically are you guys looking at?
So they're basically, you know, because of the way you're able to change your build now with like skill haste going into the signature skills, people are popping them a lot in last stand. You're always with a group of 4 in most cases, and you know that's just led to a lot of combat resolving with sig skills. So we don't want to straight up remove them from the encounter because they're a critical part of the game, and you know a lot of players, that might be the thing that pushes them over the edge and gets them, you know, a couple kills when they have to go take a tactical boost.
Yeah, of course.
So what we are doing is we want to make it a little more of a choice when you choose to use it. So they're going to start on a cooldown, so you want to have them available immediately.
Cool.
And we're elongating their cooldown slightly from the main game while you're playing in last stand.
All right.
So you'll still see them, but you're not going to see them at the rate you see them now.
Do you know off the top of your head how long it will be until those are up, or is that?
Yeah, we're still kind of fine-tuning the exact level that we're going to start the cooldown level at. But right now, if just a normal build that hasn't like spec'd into skill haste, we'll have theirs up before like the halfway part in a match.
Okay, cool. All right. So my mind first goes to various skills that reduce your signature skill cooldown. Will those apply to that?
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
So you can still get your sig skill up faster. That's still totally a thing. Players who have, you know, gone and tried to build that way will have more availability of it. So just kind of like with the normalization, we still want to respect all your build choices, but we're just, you know, we've heard a lot of feedback from the community that they want the level of their impact to be less constant.
The other thing I want to address, and we do know about it, is server performance. People are reporting that it is not great right now. We hear you. I see you, chat. We are working on identifying exactly the cause of that server performance, and as soon as I have updates, I will let you know. Believe me, we want our service to work very, very, very well. It's frustrating for us. I know I was talking to Gabe about it earlier. He's experienced that, what you guys are reporting at home. So we do know that the server performance right now is not in a good place. But when I have updates for you, I will let you know. Unfortunately, I don't have more information for you today, apart from that I went and talked to some people who are working on these things, and Keith knows that people at Redstorm are working on similar things as well to make sure that server optimization is a priority. Is there anything that we can expect, Keith, between now, or tomorrow, more accurately, between the close of PTS 4 and the live deployment of 1.6 and Last Stand? What are you guys focusing on in that kind of period?
So besides the kind of SIG skills, we're also going to cut back the amount of grenades and medkits you get constantly every time you come back from a respawn. So
Okay.
you'll still be getting resupplied. It'll just be a little less, basically along the lines of SIG skills. Every fight won't be people chucking, 4 frag grenades. You'll have to be a little more choosy with when you want to use them, which I think is good. It just makes the game feel more tactical. And then we're kind of focusing pretty heavily on fortifications. So, we felt like the PTS 4 change on damage was good, made them a little more lethal, made you be able to trust that they were going to help you out. But now we're targeting some actual, some AI behavior changes. So if you're shooting them from a concealed position, they'll still kind of target at you and suppress you. So they just have a bigger presence on the battlefield. And then on the pulse fortification, which is actually super useful for defenders. We've definitely seen, it's super useful, but we've definitely seen it get purchased less often. So one thing we want to do there is give you a little bit of a boost. So it's going to get the tactical scanner mod that your personal pulse skill can have. So it'll give you a slight crit bonus, damage bonus against pulse targets.
That's really good, and it's
so
still
we really want to encourage.
You go. Sorry, you go.
Oh no, we just really want to encourage people to feel comfortable leaving 1 or 2 people behind to defend.
Okay, is it still the same cost? I think it's $250, right?
Yeah,
okay.
We're keeping them. They'll be the same cost. That's feeling pretty good. You can get 3 of them on pretty immediately, and then maybe farm just a little to get your pulse on. So we want to keep that where it is.
We also, I do notice some people mentioning that solo players are being affected by certain things. We are looking into that as well. I spoke to Drew about that a little bit earlier. So hopefully we can get Drew on here to talk a little bit more in the coming weeks about that situation as well. We don't have any word on, I know people are asking all the time about year 2 and that sort of thing. I've got nothing for you, I'm afraid. Season Pass covers Last Stand DLC? Yes. And it will be released on all platforms at the same time. So you won't have that delay on PS4 like you did before. 1.6 and Last Stand, all platforms, all at the same time. We just don't have a date. We didn't actually talk about Sprint Reload. That's what I wanted to talk about. How did that go for you guys?
Well, I mean, for us, it was one of those things where we really wanted to test it, and it was a very split reaction from the community. We, ultimately decided to not push forward with it for 1.6 for now, and partially it's because we didn't want to force people to feel like they were relearning the game, especially the PvP game that they've kind of grown accustomed to. We wanted them to still feel like they're kind of in the same rhythm, the same dance, even if we're improving things along the way. And so that feeling of, rushing into battle and reloading your gun and then getting there and having an empty mag, we felt like we were already giving the player a lot to learn with 1.6 in the Last Stand game mode. So it felt like a good thing to hold back for later. But we got a lot of good data about it. I know there's members of the community who are really passionate about it, that they felt like it made the game a lot more tactical. So, it's definitely something we're keeping in mind.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things that, we tried it out, and it'd be cool to really consider looking at it again and really kind of tailor that solution that mechanic would work for, and kind of polish it up a bit and see if it's something that we could bring in.
There were definite benefits while it was up. Sure.
Definitely. Yes or no question. Will you be able to roll new major minor attributes on gear that was obtained in 1.5? That would be a question for Frederick, but yes? Anyway. Yes. I think I understood what you were saying. That's a question for Frederick. I'll leave that. I get a lot in chat at the moment of server lag is the biggest thing that people are talking about a lot. And I will be chasing that up, continuing to chase that up and get as much news for you guys as I can on those sorts of things. Will Lone Star be reworked? Not in 1.6, no. To reiterate, no release date for 1.6 and Last Stand. PTS is closing tomorrow, but keep giving your feedback. I'm going to head off now. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay? See you later. Bye.